yourself a psychic, a medium, and why?
Well, ever since I've been on this journey trying to figure out what I am, um, I've had abilities to see into the future, which would classify me as a psychic. I've had abilities to see into the past, again, would classify me as a psychic. But I also have abilities to speak to the ones that have crossed over. And so it also gives me abilities of a medium. But while being on this journey, I've seen and been tested several times and been called many, many different things. Um, that's another reason why I just pretty much want to call myself Frank, because there's so many different interpretations of the word psychic medium, what have you. I don't mind if people call me that. Um, but my goal, I guess you can say my mission statement for anything is when I sit someone down is to help them. So I don't care if they call me Hooba Baloo, call me what you want, but I want to be able to offer some type of supernatural help because obviously it's there. So
Nice. You mentioned in your bio that you were tested. What was the craziest test that you've been through?
there's lots of them, but the one that pops out into my mind is the one where I was working with the paranormal group and I was their lead psychic. And um, I was going through a period to where I wasn't quite comfortable, again, being called a psychic or a medium. And I wanted to figure out what I was. So while on this journey, I asked the person, the lead psychic, to test me. And I told her to come up with whatever she wanted. And she decided that she wanted to see if I had certain gifts. And the evening, the day of the test, because it's never in a controlled setting, I just told her to do it whenever, whatever, because I wanted to see what I was connected to myself. Um, so, the evening of the test, I had just came home, just fixed something to eat, sitting in my chair, watching TV, and then all of a sudden a voice comes into my head to tell me that you need to contact someone. So I thought it was the lady of the paranormal group. So I called her and I said, "Hey, were you trying to get in contact with me?" And she said no. And I was like, "Okay." So we spoke for a little while, hung up the phone. I didn't think anything about it. As soon as I hung up the phone, I kept hearing, "This is the test." Every single time. Because I called back. I called back because the voice just kept popping into my head. "This is the test. This is the test." And I couldn't get it out of my head. So I called her back and said, "Hey, are you trying to get in contact with me?" And she said, "No." And I was so confused. I was like, I know this is not professional, but the this did happen several times. So I called her back again because after we hung up the phone for the second time, I called her back again. I said, "Hey, listen, I know something's going on." And she says, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, every time I hang up the phone with you, I keep hearing in my head, 'This is the test.'" And she started laughing because apparently that was the test. She was in a whole different county and she wanted to know if I could hear her spiritually at any time, any place, anywhere. And apparently I could. So that happened several times. Even freaked me out. I have to admit it. I'm sorry. I know how crazy this stuff sounds, but it even freaks me out sometimes because I still have not gotten a full grasp of what's going on, but I know that I can help people while I'm trying to figure out my journey.
What makes for a really good connection with a client?
The best thing, truthfully, is if they really do think about their three questions and what I call wear it spiritually or inside them, that information starts to flow in such a free form that I start hearing things that there's no way I could have known. Even I know that. Even I'm sitting there the whole time as I'm reading a client, I can hear their questions, but the answer's already there. So it's almost like the end of the question, there's the answer, and I'm trying to convey what I see back to the person. And if they really focus on their questions and really know that they're going to be answered, then I have never been disappointed. There's always been magic. There's always been some kind of breakthrough. There's always been some kind of release of anxiety, stress, and that's pretty much what I want to do day to day. I want to connect with people and just make their life a little bit better.
Who would you say would be the best person to contact you in regards to maybe some type of spiritual counseling or some type of session with you?
Best way to contact me is usually through email. You contact me, and what I'll do is I want little as information as possible because I want the reading to be as clean as possible. So I usually just want the first name, email, just so I can see when they sit in front of me, it's a blank slate. I just kind of pick up whatever they're putting off, and then hopefully I can give them the best reading that they need. So.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for spending this time with us today, and I wish you the best.
Thank you.